Hey, John Nesbitt back here with another live stream on how to do marketing mo better, how to make more money without spending or blowing a bunch of money on marketing. Actually, how to do it well, how to make people love you and trust you and want to come to you and get your services. Because that's what they should be doing, right? And that's the whole point. And really, when you get down to it, marketing is just it's like one person communicating to many, and you've got to know what to say. And one of the I call this marketer's angst. This is when you're trying to write an ad, you're trying to write a landing page, a flyer, something, and you're just trying to tell the person, look, I want to help you, man. Let me help you. But you're trying to put that into words that will actually convince them that doesn't sound the same old schlock they've heard 1,000 times from other people. You're like, no, 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 other people have lied to you. I'm not lying to you, I swear. Right? You're in the back of your mind trying to write something that will get them to take action for the right reasons and actually know, like, and trust you, right? Okay, well, I'm going to give you some clues. Clues. I'm going to tell you how to do that actually right now. In a short lesson here, I'm going to show you give you basically three things you can do to do that. Right? How you can actually communicate effectively to them in such a way as they start to realize that you could help them. Right? You're basically trying to convince prospects that you can help them, and you've got to communicate to them in a very specific way. You can't just say, I can help you, because they've heard it before, right? As a matter of fact, that brings me to the first step. The first point I want to cover is quit using cliches in your marketing. Now, cliches are all those overused, world's greatest cup of coffee. We're the best. We really care about our customers. There ain't no business in the world that's not going to say anything besides that, right? These are all the same things you've heard said over and over and over that are basically, I mean, since time immemorial, been used in advertising. And you're not the first one to say it. You feel it. You may sincerely, totally feel, I love my customers. I really, really want to help them, right? But putting that in your ad, we love our customers. We really want to help them. That's kind of cliche. Kind of concept is cliche, and people, when someone's cliche, people like, they just skip it. I swear their mind doesn't even read it. They just boop, skip past that part. Yeah, I heard it. Whatever, seen it. Yeah, right. World's greatest, new and improved. Blah blah blah. Cliche, cliche. And if you think about cliches, to me, are the opposite of good writing. Cliches are usually just kind of spitting back out what you've heard of, or what you've heard before, and kind of spitting it back out for you, right? You're kind of regurgitating old marketing, or you're not really connecting with the details of how you're going to help the person. And so it's kind of lazy in a way, right? So cliche marketing needs to be something you stay away from. Cliche headlines, cliche arguments in your ad copy, just don't use them, right? I'm telling you, it's harder to do than you think, because even myself, I'll write a piece and go, wow, what a brilliant email this was. Yeah, okay, I'm using like three cliches in here, right? I have to go back through and recreate them. Now, the next two things I'm going to tell you are, what do you replace the cliches with, right? So take out the we're the greatest and we care more, we do it better, blah, 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 right? And put in these two other points. Point number one, or actually, this is my second point, but it's the first point of how to get rid of cliches. The first point is no cliches. Second point is describe the person's problem, their pain, whatever it happens to be, back to them as specifically and exactly as you possibly can. I covered this in a recent webinar I did, but Eben Pagan is a famous copywriter, phenomenal copywriter, great guy, has a quote. He says, more or less, if you can describe someone's problem back to them better than they can describe it themselves, they will assume you're an authority and can help them with it. Right? Pretty cool. So if you've got a problem and someone comes along and describes it to you better than you can even describe it yourself, you go, that guy gets me. That guy, I get it. Yeah, that guy can help me. I'm sure that guy, because he understands my pain. He understands my problem, whatever happens to be, right? And often I talk to chiropractors on here, but it could be anything, right? It could be, don't you hate it when your car stalls out of at the light and dies and people look over and you're embarrassed because your car is not running well? Well, come on in for a tune-up, right? I mean, you could literally use kind of describe someone's pain that way. An example for healthcare is, okay, so for sciatica, say, do you have shooting burning pain that goes down your leg, happens sometimes after you sit for too long, maybe after in traffic, right? And then it's a little numb towards the bottom. Yeah. Right. That's you describing the pain back to the person, or the problem back to the person. So that's how you get their attention. And that's how they start to look at you as maybe you're a source of help, because you can't help them unless you understand them. And if you prove that you understand the problem, then that opens the door that you might be able to help them out. Think about the things you buy and people you talk to and whatnot. Also, we're going to assume that if you're in the business you're in, you really understand the person's problem. You must really have some understanding, because if you're purporting to sell a solution to people, whether it's a product or a service, you probably know the problem really well. And you probably do know it better than they do, or at least you've heard more people describe it. So you have a bigger vocabulary to use on it, right? So make that the second point when you're writing ads or headlines or whatever it is, that you are addressing their specific problem as completely and directly as possible, right? The better you name it, the better that is going to perform. Okay, because the more people understand and go, wow, you're my guy, right? Okay, now the third point is to speak. Now you heard this one many times, but I'll give you some examples. Speak in benefits, not features. It is so easy to slip into the feature set instead of talking about benefits. And here's the essential difference: features are about you or your service or your product. Benefits are about them and their experience and what they're going to get at it, right? And everybody's walking when they're reading your ad, they're not reading, gee, I wonder how this advertiser is doing if he needs more customers. No, they're reading this advertisement going, what's in it for me? And if you talk in those terms, especially if you just got their attention above, do you have this? Oh, yeah, I have that exact problem. Good. Now we can help you handle that with every feature you have does have a benefit, just about. I mean, why would you have a feature in a product or service that didn't have a benefit? So say, and let me give you some examples of this. All right. So say you've got, come get a consult with a doctor, right? The consultation with a doctor is part of our $49 special. Okay, good. So that's a feature, consult with a doctor, right? The benefit of that is get insights about your pain from someone who specializes in it, right? Discover what's actually going on, get educated on what could be happening there, right? Really get a better understanding of what's happening within your own body, right? That kind of cool thing, right? Same with like doctors say, oh, we give away x-rays. Okay, we do x-rays. X-rays is a feature, right? So what's the benefit? You got to ask, well, what's the benefit to the patient of having x-rays, right? You say, well, normally it's $89 and we're not charging you. Okay, there's some benefit there, I suppose. But you say, no, the x-rays will help us correctly and quickly diagnose what's actually going on, so you move the quickest towards a resolution of your pain or your problem, right? It's like it'll make things faster and easier and leave minimal guesswork on what's going on, make for a precision diagnosis, maybe something like that, so that it's faster and blah, 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 right? Give them a benefit. Work out what's in it for them. There's probably almost no portion of your services that don't have some aspect of it that is a benefit to the end user. Why would it be in there if there wasn't, right? So it takes a little brain power. This is the part. This is why cliche is so easy. People do cliches because it's easy. You just dash that thing off. You can write a cliche ad in like 2 seconds. It takes no time at all. It takes a little more time and effort and consciousness, to write something which is going to speak to their pain points or their problem points exactly, and to kind of wordsmith that into some great words, right? And then to take the rest of your copy and talk in terms of benefits. You can mention the feature, but you have to, at the same moment, mention why it's a benefit to the person. And so after they get through that, they realize you understand them and you have all these great things that will benefit them. What do you think they're going to do next? They're going to call you, my friend, because you did not have a cliche, crappy ad. You convinced them that you can help them, which is what you're trying to do, right? Once you've got someone going that direction, then all you have to do is then go forward and actually don't disappoint them, and you'll be just fine. Okay. Now, marketing is a lot of moving parts. I just talked about essentially how you write headlines and how that works, and how you connect with people. But there's a whole lot of pieces, the platforms and everything else. If you would rather just I do that for you, would it be okay if I just did your marketing for you? I'd love to just do your marketing. Let me do this for you, right? If you've got if you've got a healthcare practice, I would love to do your marketing for you. My company there is the Customer Factory, and what you do is you go over to thecustomerfactory.com. Here, I'll put a little pop up there. There it is, and we'll do a little 15-minute chat and see if what we have is right for you, if what your territory is available, first of all, and just make sure it's a good fit. We have what's called a discovery call. So just a quick little 15-minute call to find how it goes, and then we'll see if it goes any further past that or not, right? It's not a big pushy sales thing. It's because I only look for long-term successful relationships where it's got to be a good fit from the beginning, right? So if it's not a good fit, we always say don't worry about it, and you get some free knowledge out of it, and there you go, right? But go over to thecustomerfactory.com. You can set that up right there anytime. Sooner the better, because we have a limited number of territories. What people don't know about us is that we only take one client per area. One client per area, which means as soon as someone takes that area, poof, that area is no longer available until the person stops being a client. And unfortunately, or fortunately for us, but unfortunately for other people, that's a long time usually. We keep clients around for years. I've got many clients actually who've been around for 5, 6, 7, 8 years with us now. So if you're waiting for that territory to open up, ain't gonna happen. So anyway, so if there's any urgency at all, there you go. I hate to think you missed out, but okay, fine. Anyway, hopefully you've gotten some benefit out of this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Hey, by the way, do that whole like and share and subscribe thing, man. Just hit share on this thing, will you? I want to reach a lot of people with this stuff. I think the information is pretty good. If it's not, put a comment. Tell me my information sucks. But if it's good, put a comment down there that says it's good. Share it with people. Do that whole YouTuber thing. So I'm just trying to get the word out and help people with this message. And the more, the better. Okay, anyway, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you next time.